So today's video is going to be a fun one, folks. We're talking about good old hypocrisy in gaming journalism. Now, let me be clear, because I don't know, man. People are just weirdos. I don't hate any of these people. I might not like these people, but I don't wish like bad things to happen to them. Although some of these people within gaming journalism, I feel are bad individuals. You know, still, at the end of the day, live your life, do what you do. I'm just trying to make people look at things from a different lens. I am someone who has burned a lot of bridges. I will continue to burn bridges, and I will watch them burn. I don't really care. I've created a great brand here with RGT. I've created a great audience here that enjoys listening to me. And although we might not always agree on things, and you might not always agree with my video topics, there's a mutual layer of respect that happens here. But today we're going to be talking about a situation that happened earlier this morning. And I just find this so fascinating how something that actually impacts gaming journalism, something that impacts these people's livelihood, is just being swept under the rug. And no, the usual suspects, the people that always go to the events, the people that are all friends with each other, that live within this echo chamber of everything. You know, we all have a like thinking and, you know, like ideas and stuff like that. None of these people seem to be talking about it. So your boy is going to talk about it today. We're going to head on over to good old Twitter. With this tweet made by Tom Warren from The Verge. Now, this was made at 4:45 a.m., but you can see here, there's 1 million impressions on this. Now, I don't have a problem with Tom. I don't know that I've ever talked to him. We might have been on the Xbox era podcast together, but, you know, he's a senior editor over at The Verge. Now, The Verge doesn't like me. The Verge has me blocked. I'm sure they wrote some terrible article and I made a joke about it on Twitter and they got mad at me and blocked me. But why does this tweet have over 1 million views? Well, the tweet is, we played Valve's secret new shooter, Deadlock. It's like Overwatch, Dota 2, and Team Fortress 2, all baked into a pie. Now, when you look at this, initially you're kind of like, oh, well, I didn't know Valve was doing a new shooter. Well, that's kind of cool. You know, maybe there had been some rumors about it. But this must be a situation where an embargo lifted, where you get a preview period of a game, because people seem to be confused about that. When a bunch of people all talk about a game at the very same time, like all the articles go up at the same time, all the videos go up at the same time, that's because there is an embargo, meaning that you're not allowed to talk about this until this date and time. I don't know why that exists in every other form of media and everyone's fine with it, but when it comes to video games, people think there's a conspiracy. So this must mean that the Deadlock embargo went up, right? And now we could talk about it. Spoiler alert. That's not the case. So we scroll down here. Who can reply? Accounts at Tom Warren follows or mentioned can reply. So we're locking down replies here. Now that's kind of weird, because you're kind of creating this echo chamber that so many people aren't a huge fan of when it comes to gaming journalism. Look, I'm in a group chat with Nate the Hate, MBG, and John, and literally every single day one of us is going back and forth with another of us. Sometimes it's 2-on-1, sometimes it's 2-on-2, sometimes it's 3-on-1. We're always going back and forth because we view things differently. But at the end of the day, we're all still friends. This isn't an echo chamber. We're all different people from different walks of life. You have Homer Simpson to John's Ned Flanders. Like, it's fine to disagree with people on things, but why locking this down? I'm never going to lock down my replies on anything. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I don't care. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. If you agree with it, that's great. If you disagree with it, then that's great too. I like to hear people's response to things that I say, which will play a role as we go along here. So what's going on? A reply was hidden by the original post author. We didn't agree to any NDAs. This reply was hidden by the original post author. There is no NDA. So like I just said, talking about NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, embargoes, stuff like that. Stuff that will get you in trouble. So what's going on with this? Because it seems like there isn't an embargo situation. There isn't an NDA situation. They're just talking about it. So maybe they had, you know, a special thing. Maybe they were allowed to do something that nobody else was allowed to do. Now, let's just keep scrolling here. There was a community note as well. But then we scroll down here. Venta FPS, Twitch partner, Ubisoft creator, shared this. So this is from The Verge. This is from the article. And I am not under NDA. I have signed no contracts, made no verbal agreements. I haven't even clicked through a EULA. And then we see a picture of this here. And this is where things just get absolutely fascinating. Early development build. Deadlock is still in early development with a lot of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Do not share anything about the game with anyone. So what would a normal person do here? A normal person would be like, okay, thank you for allowing me early access to this. But not The Verge, folks. Not The Verge. They think outside the box a little bit. This message does pop up when I launch Deadlock, but I didn't click OK. Instead, I hit the escape key and watched it disappear. Look at me. If that is not the most kindergarten logic that I've ever seen, that is literally playground logic with this. That, well, I hit escape, I didn't hit OK. So that doesn't apply to me. I am okay. You know, it's. Then there was an update on the 12th. Turns out Valve was not fine with me trying Deadlock with friends. I've been banned from matchmaking. Oh well. Please feel free to make fun of me in the comments. And then the comments just start to get great here. Yes, yeah, just a spit in the face to not only the devs, but also the people playtesting this game and keeping their mouths shut for months. Actually, crazily disrespectful to everyone involved. Yet another L for yourself and The Verge. Seems like that was a deleted tweet or either hidden by Tom here. I didn't break the rules. I just ignored them. I don't understand how you're a journalist but don't have basic etiquettes. This is embarrassing. If the game said to not release the game, then don't release the game. So obviously this is a situation where an embargo was broken. And we've seen this before within, you know, gaming. There was a Nintendo content creator, Josh Thomas. I think his channel's name is The Bit Block. He likes to wear diapers. I don't know. He was notorious for breaking Nintendo embargoes, and Nintendo cut him off. And then because of things like that, what ends up happening is companies change how they distribute things. Companies change how they do things like preview tests and how they do review copies and stuff like that. So while this might just seem like an isolated incident, it's really not. And here's where their hypocrisy comes into play, because I know that's what you're wondering. We've been talking a lot just about this situation, but what's the hypocrisy here? This seems to be kind of just an isolated incident with The Verge. Where are all those people that were coming after me for my thumbnail? Because you might remember I made a video talking about how, I believe it was IGN of France, had viciously attacked the creator of Stellar Blade. And for my thumbnail, I basically summarized what this individual from IGN of France said and made it into a tweet. And I made a little tweet picture and I put that as the thumbnail. None of that changed the actual content within it, but holy Christ on a cracker, was I the public enemy number one all of a sudden. Journalists from every single website, Kotaku, Forbes, The Verge, Giant Bomb, all these people just raking me over the coals because I made a tweet to kind of look like a real tweet that I thought was clearly a fake thing. But I made a tweet that essentially summarized what was said in the article. So I ended up changing that. I didn't lock down my replies. I didn't do anything. I changed that thumbnail because I wanted the conversation to be on what IGN of France actually said, as was shown in that tweet that I had made. But hey, you know what? That's what people want to get hung up on. I'll take that away from you. I'm not bending the knee. I'm taking that away from you, so you have to actually look at the situation for what it is. That was a situation that did not impact any of the people talking about it, any of the journalists, any of the websites talking about it. Yet this situation is something that would impact you, is something that would impact how you do business, is something that could potentially change how things like early access and previews and review copies are distributed when a company, a major website that of course is friends with everyone, covers this when they're not supposed to. So where's the outrage? Where are the people holding their friend accountable for potentially screwing up what they're doing? Where are the people saying, hey man, you shouldn't have done that. Like, that's not how it works. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. Nowhere. Nowhere. Nobody's making a peep about it. All of the same people that were ready to crucify me, they're not saying a thing about this. Something that actually could impact their bottom line. Something that could actually impact their wallet. Something that could actually impact their website, their business, their brand. All of this sort of stuff. Dead silence. And that, my friends, is where the hypocrisy lies with this. Because these people don't realize that all you're doing is adding to the stigma. You're adding to the problem of perception that the video game journalist industry has right now. Because you protect your own and you ignore when they do things that are dumb. You ignore when they do things that are wrong. If somebody comes in my comment section and says, John made a stupid video today, I'd be like, hey man, he probably did. He's a stupid son of a bitch. Like, it's not bad. Like, I don't understand these. I don't understand why friendship with a lot of these people just seems to be based on always making the person happy and always building that person up. Sometimes you got to be real with people. Sometimes you got to be honest with people. And this situation is something that can be very damaging. This situation could potentially change how Valve does things. Valve could restrict access to your peers, your coworkers, your people who work with you in the video game industry because of your short-sighted need to get the initial drop sort of coverage on this. And the fact that more people aren't calling this out. I'm not even saying you need to be mean about it. I'm not saying that you need to insult the way Tom looks and call him a hack like y'all journalists did with me. I saw everything. I saw everything. You know, I saw everything that was said. But just be like, hey, this isn't cool. At the very least, you could do something like that, but you won't. And that, my friends, is why there are way too many frauds within this whole sphere. There's way too many frauds. No accountability. Friendship club. When someone does something that you know is wrong, you know they should not have done, you just let it ride. You let it ride. Just my opinion, though. Maybe you think completely different about me. And you think completely different about this situation. And you know what? I respect that. That's cool. You're allowed to do that. I'm not going to chastise you. But let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. I don't know how this video is going to do. I don't know if people will kind of care about this topic. But I just wanted to kind of shine a little bit of a light on it. Because when I saw this morning, I was just like, how? Where's the logic here? Where's the logic here? Like, this makes no sense. And why is nobody being like, hey, you know, this is kind of messed up. You probably shouldn't have done this. You're probably not in the right here. I'm just saying. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.